Shalom, welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Delmar, and together with my co-host Mark Vronich of the statewide news service and jbiztechphilly.com.
Rabbi, we have an Albany County legislator with us today, Rich Jacobson. He's from Colonie, the District 23, and you represent the village mainly? Or?
Part of the village of Colonie and a large area north of Albany Shaker Road.
Okay, so how many people are in your district?
Approximately 7,500.
7,500. Is that easy to keep track of?
Yes.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you hope that maybe the district should be larger and maybe there should be fewer legislators?
Well, I am in favor of reducing the number of legislators, and we're going to have a vote on that sometime in the near future.
Just tell us the numbers. I mean, like how much are there now? How much would you propose to be less?
I am in favor of the proposal to lower the number to 29. I'm not sure mathematically how many people that adds to each district.
All right, from 39 right now. What is it right now?
Yeah, 39.
39, so it'll go down to 29.
Right.
And that could save $1 million? Is that possible? Is that?
I don't think it would go that high. You'd be saving the salary of 10 legislators.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then how much do you earn a year?
It's a little over 21,000.
21.
Okay. Is that up to the voters or up to your Albany,
It's
to
it's-
your
It
legislative
would be a
body?
charter change to the Albany County Charter, so the voters have to vote on it.
That would come up this year?
Yes.
At the end of the year, November,
In
whatever
November,
it is.
yes.
And that's along with local elections.
Right.
That are out, so there's generally a low turnout.
Right.
With this.
And our elections are this year.
Your county
Mhm.
elections, but also town and village elections.
Not village. Village is at a different time of year.
March, right? Okay.
Either March or June, depending upon the village.
Okay.
No, there is a counter argument. Are you for the downsizing? I know it's a proposal.
I am in favor of the downsizing.
There's a counter argument that, like the more legislators, the more you're in tune with, obviously, just simple mathematics. The less legislators, the more people they're representing. That wouldn't bother you, though?
I don't think the numbers would increase so much that it would impact on me in terms of what I do.
And when you say that you represent the village, part of the village, who represents the other part of the village?
Patrice Schwartz Lockhart,
Okay, who's a Republican?
yes.
Okay. And you're also the town Democratic chair, right?
In Colonie, yes.
Colonie Town Democratic Chair. So I guess you got your hands full
Quite a bit going on.
quite a bit.
Well, we see, I'm in Bethlehem, but you've seen in a number of years that I've seen that the suburbs, usually it was Albany Democrat and suburbs Republican. Surely in Bethlehem that was that way. And now I don't know, for what, you have the reason why Democrats are taking over the suburbs.
There's been more migration of Democrats into the suburbs. You have phenomena like the time that President Obama was elected. A lot of people were energized by that election, and they would register to vote, and they'd be first-time Democrats in the suburbs. I think there's just a trend of people to move out of the cities and to register that
So you
way.
got a lot of previous Albanians that are coming
Yes.
out.
Yeah, I remember it used to be a way that, when people moved out of Albany into Bethlehem or Guilderland or Colonie, the ward leader would go right to that person and would get them to enroll as the Republican ward leader would get them to enroll as Republican.
In Colonie, we have a joke that there was a statute requiring that.
Yeah. But somehow that all fell apart, I guess, maybe after Harry D'Agostino gave up the reins of the party. I mean, it seems like he was really in control of things there.
Yes.
And you didn't waste any time seizing the moment, as they say.
That's correct.
But are there many, because the town board is pretty much all Democrat, and maybe there's one minor party?
We have
candidate?
one Republican
There's one Republican?
and one member in the Independence Party who
Right, okay.
caucuses with the Democrats.
Okay. So
He's one of us.
well, it's kind of like in the state assembly, there's an independence party
Right.
guy, Fred Thiel, who caucuses with the Democrats.
Exactly.
He used to be a Republican. So go figure, he's all three parties in
Yep.
one. But what do you do you attribute this to a good organization, good organizational skills that you were able to take over from over 100 years of Republican control?
Well, when we took over in 2007, we had a lot of things going in our favor at the same time. We had a scandal with town employees using town equipment at a private rod and gun club. That caused a lot of hardcore Republicans not to vote, and it got a lot of other people that are probably independents, not enrolled,
Right.
to come our way in that year. And once we were in and they saw the good job that the administration was doing, we were able to maintain that each cycle.
Wow, just like 100 years and just one scandal
Yeah.
does it.
Yes.
There's hope for Republicans in Albany then?
Maybe 3 or 4 scandals.
Okay.
The disadvantage is too much.
The mayor of the village, is that still Mayor Leak?
Yes.
Okay, he's been there for like 50 years or something?
No,
How long has he been?
Frank's been mayor, I think, for about 15 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. There wasn't another leak before him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Who was before him?
Before him was, his name will come to me in a
Okay.
second if I don't think about it.
All right, because I always remember seeing his name like on the bottom of the welcome to the
sign?
village.
Well, he was a village trustee also, so you would have seen him on the same sign the whole time.
Okay.
But he, everyone in the village of Colonie runs on the quote-unquote your village party line.
Right.
There's some Republicans and some Democrats, but they don't run as such. They run on this independent party line so that they can group together.
And because there's no Republican or Democrat way to pave the roads or plow the snow. I mean,
Right.
it's a village. Let's
Right.
all work together. Let's eliminate party labels and divisiveness.
Yes, the only local village you'll see with the party labels is Ravenna. But you still have villages like Manans where you have 2 independent parties and there is a lot of clashing. It's almost like a Republican-Democrat clash.
Uh-huh. Okay, so which way do you like it as a party chairman? Do you prefer having
for the
Manans or Village of Colonie?
For the village, I'm fine with it being peaceful like the village of Colonie.
Okay. And if your district expands because of the downsizing, do you think your district would run more into Patrice Lockhart's, or are you surrounded by Republican legislators, or do you think you'd have to square off against another Democrat?
I might have to square off against another Democrat or one of the Republicans that's currently in there now. We're not sure how the map would get reconfigured.
But you only have a few options.
Right.
So who are the legislators who surround your district?
I have Patty Lockhart to the south. I have Peter Tunney to the north and to the west.
He's a Republican also.
He's a Republican. I have Joe O'Brien next door to me on the far end of the district, who's a Democrat.
Right.
And I have, part of it is Peter Kraus. He's a Republican.
Right, okay.
So it's either me and Joe in a primary or one of the Republicans, but that's so far out,
Right.
I don't see myself running that far anyway.
Oh, okay.
We're talking the election of 2023.
Because you have to wait, even if it's passed by the voters in November, you have to wait for the 10-year census in 2020.
Yes,
So you're talking,
yes.
So-
And then the experts come in with the mapping machine. And
What's the average tenure, do you think, for an Albany County legislator? I mean, the Gil Ethiers of the world, who's been there 50 years or whatever it was, whatever it is, I mean, that's something else. That's an anomaly, but,
Either a short time or like Gil. Gary Demolowitz has been there a long time. Mary Lou has been there a long time.
Lucille,
Lucille.
right.
But there's a lot of us now that are freshmen versus them, and then some people in the middle. So probably like 2 or 3 terms would be average.
So, yeah, I mean, I think Mike Mackey is going to retire.
I talked to Mike the other day, and I don't think he's sure yet.
Okay, I spoke to him and he said that he was pretty sure. Okay.
Well, then sorry about that.
Here to tell you. Are you trying to convince, he's a Dem?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you trying to convince him to stay on? And
I didn't try to influence him either way, no.
Oh, okay.
He's the town sheriff in New Scotland.
Yeah, so that's why I was trying to get him on the show also. And you sit on certain committees in the county legislature.
Yes.
The Law Committee, Social Services, and Public Safety.
Correct.
Why did you choose those 3, or did the majority leader choose?
The majority
for you?
leader shows.
Did you have to write down like 4 or 5 that you wanted? And
We did give him preferences 3 years ago.
were these the preferences that you had?
I believe so.
Okay, so he gave you what you wanted.
Yeah, I think there was one other, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay, but like a good leader, he gave
Yeah.
you what you wanted.
Yes.
What do you see as the strongest committee for you? I mean, what is the law, like, what would the average person on the street, what would they say the law committee does? What could you
The
tell me?
law committee is interested basically in anything that the sheriff does that he needs legislative authorization for. For instance, one project that he's working on now is to coordinate the radio system so that municipalities like Colonie and Albany can actually speak with each other at a police level. And he's doing that through a county system.
Okay.
One of them is on analog, one of them is digital. It's all gonna be digital with the sheriff's department.
That's
Is
good.
that Albany
That's-
County or the whole Albany County?
Right now, he's working on Albany Colonie, because with the long border, they should be able to communicate.
And then
other than by
if
telephone.
that's successful, he could bring in the other towns and villages, or?
Yeah, you're not talking too many more, because Queens, Bethlehem, and Guilderland have their own police departments, and
Right.
Altamont does, and that's it. Everybody else is the sheriff's anyway.
Okay.
None of the hill towns has a police department.
Right, right. But you still have other, those other, let's say, 4 or 5
4 or 5,
agencies,
yeah.
which would have to digitize and not be analog anymore.
Right.
To hook in,
Right,
which is a good thing, I guess.
yes.
Um,
We were also involved with the sheriff when he was able to get the school down in New Scotland to use as the sheriff's substation down there,
in Clarksville?
in Clarksville, right? Yep,
I followed that one.
yep. It's a good operation down there.
Do you also deal with the county attorney in the law?
We have had occasions when we've had the county attorney come and speak to us as the law committee if there's any ongoing litigation that he wants to report to us on. Sometimes we have to go into executive session because he's given litigation strategy as an attorney, and that doesn't make too much of the press happy that are there, because they have to leave for a while. But yes, we do deal with the county attorney.
And does it make you feel, as a party chairman, I mean, this is where politics and government sort of overlap, but that he's a staunch Republican, you're a staunch Democrat, you know, is that a problem for you?
Actually,
or
he's an enrolled conservative,
he couldn't roll conservative?
and I did vote for him to have that position, and everything has been fine.
Yeah,
He's there not as an ideologue, he's there as the county attorney.
right, okay. So that doesn't bother you?
No.
No, you could still see past the label,
Yeah.
the party label?
Yeah.
Some people can, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
But, okay, so when you talk about the better communication between Albany and Colonie, but you're also on the Public Safety Committee, you know, so wouldn't that also dovetail into the Public Safety Committee?
It does.
Okay,
The
so,
sheriff comes before that committee a lot also.
so tell us about the Public Safety Committee. What issues would you deal with there?
Well, off the top of my head, I remember when the sheriff came to us because he had a chance to bring in inmates from Vermont
Yes.
where they were overcrowded, and we have plenty of space at the jail right now.
Right.
He was able to bring them in, save some money. When,
So he needed your permission? I mean, what, that's
Or
why
he just
came
needed to
there?
inform you?
on that case, he was informing us, you're
Right.
correct.
And then Schoharie County, when they're jail, he brought in some of the inmates from Schoharie County.
I think we still have them.
Yes,
Because
you
they
do.
didn't rebuild yet.
Right.
I remember when the Affordable Care Act took effect and the health exchange in New York was set up, the sheriff actually came to us and said he was enrolling all of the inmates in that health insurance plan,
Oh,
which saves a lot of money.
why does it save money?
Well, they're not Medicaid now.
And Medicaid was more expensive than?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Didn't know. You'd think that would go before the Health Committee.
In that case, he was informing, and he may very well have informed the health committee.
Okay. So with public safety, what other types of issues does the county, I mean, because I know like the city of Albany would deal with traffic lights and, you know, crime, but that's too pedestrian for the county legislature to deal with.
We have had many occasions when the sheriff has come before us on a particular contract that he wants us to vote on. In a lot of cases, it's pass-through money. He's getting either federal or state money for a particular program, like Stop DWI, but he still needs the legislative approval for it. We have a lot of resolutions along that vein each month.
So is this like an exciting thing for you, the county legislature, being in the county legislature?
There's never a dull moment in the county legislature.
You know, but you seem like such a mild-mannered, very droid type of person. I mean, does this get your blood pumping? I mean, and your...
The issues in the
You seem so
county,
calm, that's why I'm just.
I'm always calm. The issues in the county legislature shouldn't be anything that we should be grandstanding about.
Mm-hmm.
The issues in the county legislature that we should be dealing with are the budget, the budget, the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping everything in check and keeping the employees properly compensated as well. That's my main focus in the county legislature.
All right, so when you talk about the budget, we've had the county clerk on this show here, and he says that he gives money back to after he pays all his bills, at the end of the year, he gives money back to the county coffers.
Well, we wouldn't be able to keep it anyway if he wanted to. He's talking about filing fees and things like that.
Well, yeah, so he just pays all his office bills, but he
Yeah.
gives, I mean, Tom Clayton was on, he said $1 million. Bruce Hidley was on, said it's gonna be a lot less than that, but still, there's still money that,
It's revenue generating.
it's revenue generating. I don't want to say a profit making because it's not, it's supposed to be, and that was the bad word, so, but it's revenue generating.
Right.
And, but what about the sheriff's, the county jail? I mean, could that be revenue generating? Because now they got video visitation, and that you charge for that, and there's other things that.
Well,
they
there's
charge
also
for.
these outside, we had the sheriff on, and he said these outside counties, they actually pay dues or federal.
That's what he was talking about,
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Schoharie
that's what I'm
in
saying, they're
Vermont.
making money,
Right.
so that's a money.
Is that
Yes.
revenue generating
Yeah.
yet, or not?
I don't think I'd have to ask the sheriff, but I don't think he's at that point yet.
Okay. But the budget, what do you say, is the budget in good shape in Albany?
The budget is now in very good shape. We just passed a budget for 2015 with no increase at all.
Really,
And
that's great.
What's
Yep.
the total of what's the budget total?
I'd have to check.
Approximately. What's the ballpark?
I can't even approximate for you.
Okay.
The
That's
reason-
great. What do you attribute, I mean, they're always, I would say government's always going up, 2%, 3%.
Yeah.
What do you attribute it to? They can keep it
The-
level,
the-
flat.
The economy getting better and the sales
Sales
tax
tax,
going
sales
up
tax.
and the mortgage tax as well.
And this brings us to the next segue of what about the nursing home? Because that was always a big drag on the budget. So now we have
Right.
it sort of turning around a little bit?
I'm very happy with the nursing home. In fact, I couldn't be happier. 3 years ago, we were in the middle of a huge war as to what we were going to do, privatize it or sell it, or maybe even close it outright.
And
It's
now,
it's a complete turnaround. The director came to talk to our caucus about a week and a half ago. Everything seems to be going great. He's done a phenomenal job out there. There's a plan, it was secret till it ended up in the Times Union 2 days ago, but there's a plan to try to bring in some outside medical providers and use some of the vacant space in the building. So it could be a doctor's office as well. That would generate some money for us.
Oh,
Wouldn't
that's
that be
good.
great?
That's better use, more efficient
how did
use
you
of the
turn
space.
around the nursing home, though?
Well,
He was able to get concessions from the union and some scheduling adjustments,
Right.
which weren't too popular, but he was actually able to return them to their normal flow a year early,
So to reduce overtime.
to reduce overtime and to reduce the need to bring in part-time contract staff on the weekends.
So in other words, it would be an outside agency, a nurse's
Yeah.
outside agency that they would bring in on weekends
Yeah.
instead of asking the
In-house.
in-house nurses to work overtime, which I guess was more costly for the overtime than it was what these outside nursing agencies would charge.
And he did that by reducing the number of weekends off an employee could have each month.
Uh-huh.
They could only have one weekend off, and he's now back to 2. But within that 1 year, he was able to straighten everything out.
So that, wow. And no one believed him when he came before you, when he was being considered. There was a lot of skeptics in the
There
county
were, there were.
legislature.
There
Were
were.
you one of the skeptics?
Probably yes.
So now you're a believer.
I'm happy.
Have you gone to the nursing home and seen?
About a year ago.
You did?
I need another trip.
I do too. So maybe we can go together.
Yeah, we'll do a field trip.
Without the cameras.
Right.
We'll just go. Yeah, I wanted to see what was going on over there. And, because we have a lot of county legislators on. I think we had more than half of the county legislature on the show here. And they always talk about it. And, it's quite the facility, I'll bet. How old are you?
I'm 50.
So you got a long way to go before you're eligible to
I
be
hope so.
in the county nursing home. Is it a place that you would want, that you would feel comfortable putting someone, a relative of some sort in the nursing home, or?
Based on the description that the proponents of the nursing home have when they come and speak to us, yes.
Okay,
I haven't been in a room or observed what the patients do all day, but we have some very, very ardent supporters of that facility that come and speak to us at public comment, probably every other meeting. And I don't think they're acting.
Is that part of the budget not surplus, but flat, that, I mean, you're saving money with the nursing home? Because again, like Mark says, we have so many, I think every legislator we have who talks about the nursing home as one of the main issues, and they were just saying, running such a major deficit, that he reduced the deficit where now you don't have to be in such debt.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons.
yeah, it was, what, I know the county executive said it was $1 million a month, and the other legislators said it was more like $800,000 a month, but it was some big numbers
Yep.
that you were losing per month.
Yeah.
Are you losing a little bit now, or?
I think he's down to a little bit. I'd have to check on the numbers with Mr. Slatsky.
But it's just a few, it's a much lower number than
Yes.
that. Yeah, okay. So maybe with these medical offices being there, maybe that'll really bring it into the black a little.
Yep, I hope so.
You hope so. What has been, you said that you're a freshman, you're a sophomore legislator, right?
No,
You
it's my
ran-
first term.
You're in your first term?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Was for 4
what is-
years? They
Yes.
give you
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, we're up this year.
What's been your frustration with the legislature, or what has been your greatest pride, your most proud moment with the legislature?
With I don't really think there's been a time that I've been frustrated. I was a little disappointed the first time because we had a vote for a tax increase that a lot of us fought over. And the county executive promised us, I'll get you through this year, I'll get you through this year. That was probably the most frustrating, if there was at all, just knowing that I had something that I had voted for. But we've gotten to the point now where, as I said a few minutes ago, where we have a budget with no increase. That's my proudest moment.
That's your proudest moment.
So again, it all comes back to the budget.
You know, other counties are trying to recover from the economy and to show that, you know, to come under whatever cap they got to come under and all that. I think it's a 2% cap, but it's not really 2% because it's 2% on a portion of the budget.
Yeah.
I was wondering if Medicaid was still a big problem for you, because a lot of county executives say that it's that there are some unfunded mandates that take up about 80% of the budget. They have to fund these, and then there's a little sliver of local county functions that, you know, need to be taken care of, but it's mainly unfunded mandates from the state.
Yes. Huge problem.
Medicaid?
Yes.
Is a problem?
Yes.
Are we the Cadillac of Medicaid
We're
systems?
we definitely are. If the state would take that over, the county would be in so much better shape.
And what are some other big hits for you on in the budget that are unfunded mandates?
Well, I can't go into the unfunded mandates too much in terms of the county legislature.
Okay. What are the biggest chunks of the budget that you have no real control over? That, you know, the jail is the jail, right?
The jail is the jail.
Right. So
We need a district attorney.
right.
We need a public defender.
Okay.
We need an alternate public defender for when there's conflicts.
Right.
And then on top of that, we have it's called the 18B system, where if there's a third level of a conflict, or a fourth or more, a judge can assign an attorney like me who's not involved in the case that gets paid hourly.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the necessary offices that we have, but it all adds up and it takes a lot of taxpayer money.
Okay. And are you comfortable that the county executive is doing a good job? I mean, is that something that you're
Yeah, things are going very well right now, I
happy
think.
with, Mr. McCoy?
Yep. In fact, as stated, the county is at 5 o'clock this afternoon, and I'll be down there.
Oh, well,
This
then
is
I'll
more
see
of
you
a
then.
town of Colonie question, but since you're the legislator, you know, people say that, wow, that Colonie should be doing so well because of Wolf Road and, you know, the malls are growing and growing. But I asked once to the Bethlehem, you know, about sales tax, and they just said, well, it's not how much you put in, you know, then they just allot it. It's just you throw it into the pot of Albany County and then they allot it. So are you probably in Colonie getting, you're probably getting, you're getting more revenue than you're getting. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's true or
the
not.
county allocation is 60-40. The locality keeps 40 and the county keeps the other 60% of it. But because in Colonie, we have the big places like
Wolf
everything,
Road.
Wolf Road, all the car dealerships, the furniture stores.
I never thought of that.
Colony generates
One
off.
car dealership now.
Pardon me?
There's one car dealership on Wolf Road, Denoyer, right?
Yeah, but there's about 5 on Central,
Yeah,
Right.
Central
and there's
Avenue was
some
long.
on Route 9.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's quite a few on Route
But
9 north of the
So
Those
you
circle.
get a
those
lot of
areas.
money from all those,
Yeah.
I mean, a big car is a big sales
Right.
tax.
Right.
So you're
So when
getting
the-
a lot of money, you're doing well.
Right, and we're actually helping everybody else in the process by having those there
Yeah.
generating the money. We had an issue a couple of years ago where some members of the legislature wanted to change the allocation. And the town board and the supervisor were very concerned about that because it would impact greatly on the town's budget. We were able, the leadership in the legislature stood firm and we were able to keep it at that allocation.
They wanted more spread out.
Right.
I mean,
But we actually give back more to the municipalities than any other county in the state.
Wow. Do you, did you have an elected office that you held before you were county legislator?
No.
So what made you want to dip your toe in the water and say, I mean, because you've seen what the elected officials have to go through as being town chairman, so why did you want to run?
I always had an interest in local government, and I thought I could add a lot to the process, and to the substance.
Do you enjoy the shoe leather campaigns that you have to run? Because there's really no media, that you don't do any advertising.
That's true,
It's just,
that's true.
you know.
We do a lot of mailers and a lot of walking, and I enjoy it. It's good exercise,
you lose a few pounds.
hopefully.
So that's
You're-
very good. So you enjoy you're a people person? pretty
Yes.
much? What type of law do you practice, private law do you practice?
Not too much other than an occasional real estate closing or criminal.
Oh, criminal law, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. But real estate closing, you do that?
occasionally, yes.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
I'll give you a card.
So is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up that you might want to tell the viewers about?
No, I think you hit every
All
major
the
thing that was on
subjects
my
we did.
mind, yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask
Did a
you,
good assignment.
since we have a couple of minutes left, about social services.
Mhm.
Is anything going on with that committee that, you know, that you're on that should be noted, or?
We have a lot of contracts for different programs that are run by outside agencies in the county that come onto the agenda every single month. Most of them have federal or state money involved. Some of them are county also, but it's important work that we do to be sure that the outside agencies are remaining in operation so that they can perform all the services for the people that need them.
Okay,
That's the bulk of what we do in social services.
all right, it sounds boring.
No, no,
Okay.
not at all.
It doesn't sound like the exciting stuff with law and public service that you really.
It's a different type of excitement.
Well,
Yeah,
you're helping a
different
lot
times.
of people
Yeah.
also. I mean, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Mark, you got to know, like a rabbi also, you're helping people. It's
Right.
not just religion, quote unquote. There's a lot of, people counseling people and helping people. So, I mean, that's a lot of
Okay.
satisfaction in that, Mark.
Satisfaction and
You're a news
excitement are
reporter over here. He's looking for a hot story to always get a good headline over
Two
there.
different things between exciting and satisfaction, you know. So anyway.
All right, listen, we thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
being
you.
on the Jewish View. You
thank you.
educated our viewers to what government is. I think I always say that. I think most people, maybe they don't vote because they just don't even know. You're the man in the street or the woman in the street. Hey, what does the Albany County legislator? Oh, I pay their taxes. What do they do for you? I don't know. So I think this is important education that people should know what the Albany County is really doing, what they're getting for their money. And thank you very much, and
Thank you.
continue with good
Thanks.
success what you're
Best of
doing in good
success.
health.
Yeah.
Thank you.